My personal experience growing up in the first world is definitely somewhat traumatic, being from the background that I identify with. I feel like being a mixed person in this country is hard because they teach you to be afraid of parts of yourself. They teach you that you're not allowed to be the person that you were born to be, or that you're different. And every day, or not, maybe not every single day, but so many days of my life I've had someone come up to me and ask me, "What are you?" Like, that's an acceptable question to ask another human being, as if they're not. And I've always had to, I played with it, it's like, who am I? What am I? And as much as I know who I am, having been asked that so many times in the society, there have been points where I've had to question that myself. And I don't think that's necessarily fair. That being from my background, being half Filipino Chinese and being half white, I feel like I'm a part of the colonized as much as the colonizer, and I have to identify with that at any given time, any situation I step into. That challenges me because at the same time I want to liberate my people, I feel like I am a part of the oppressor, I feel like a lot of the issues that we have in this country really comes down to is the climate of fear that we're living in. And that's what allows us to do so many of the negative things that we do. It allows us to waste as much as we waste. It allows us to destroy what we destroy because we live in a constant stigma of fear. And I think that's one of the biggest problems, is that it's okay that this jacket is probably made by a little boy who looks like me in a country far, far away, because we're different. And because we're different, we can fear him and we can say that that's okay. I want to be able to walk down the street, no matter what street it is, whether it be in this country or any country in the world, and be able to smile at someone and have them reciprocate that smile as well, and be able to know that my positivity being forced out or pushed out or shared in the universe can be received, and someone can take that, and they don't have to be afraid of me or ask what the motivations behind my smile are, or feel like they can't approach me for whatever reason. I feel like I have to carry myself a certain way to be accepted in certain circles, or I have to speak a certain way, or I have to change the way my voice is in order to belong in a certain sense, and I don't ever want to have to do that. I just want to be me. But after being asked so many times, "What are you?" there are times that I don't even know what that is. I feel like I have a different relationship with the earth because all the products and everything I need, or that I need, quote unquote, to survive, is packaged to me, it's brought to me, it's delivered to me, and it's made in a way that's accessible, it's convenient, and it's removed from what it initially was. Like, I wipe my ass with toilet paper, and that's a tree. I don't even know how many trees that is. I don't even know where it came from, and it's wasteful. Like eating this food, and if I don't have a relationship with the farmer or the person I buy the food from, it's like, how am I supposed to know where this is from? How do I know this is safe to go into my body? And we live in a world where everything is a commodity in which we're removed from the root, And how are we supposed to have a strong foundation? How are we supposed to build up from the ground if we don't have a connection to the soil, a connection to the root? How are we supposed to grow? It's a false foundation that we lie to ourselves, allowing ourselves to create something that's not real. I know I waste a lot. I know people around me waste a lot. I know when I'm done with something, or I'm bored with something, or something is no longer useful, that I just throw it away. And I'm in a position where I don't have to ask, where does this go? It goes into a trash can, and then it goes into a trash bin outside of my house, and then people pick it up and they take it away, and I never have to see it again. And I never second guess, where does this go? And I don't think that's okay, because in the long run, it's someone else's problem, it's not mine. Maybe it ends up in the ocean. Maybe it ends up in someone's front yard. Maybe it goes into land which indigenous people used to live on, but they no longer can because it's toxic. Maybe it goes into the earth and it won't decompose for hundreds of thousands of years. But I don't have to worry about that. Is that not a problem? The very language which I speak, the tool that I use to express myself, as much as it's a valuable and important thing that I don't feel like I take for granted, I do know that it's not the tongue which my ancestors spoke, and therefore something about it is wrong. The fact that the way that I communicate with the people around me may not necessarily represent my true root. And the words that I use, in some senses, may even take advantage of the situation that I'm in or perverse the way that I actually feel or believe, because there aren't words that are gentle. There aren't words that represent the form of nature or the movement or the feeling that I have. It's just a collaboration of different ideas that have been presented to me by someone who inevitably, in some form of way, is an oppressor because their history has decidedly lived on. And the person who spoke another language, who may have said this is what it actually is, this is what it actually means, is no longer here to tell their story. The issue that we face is a huge structural issue, but I don't think we can fix it from the top down. We have to fix it from the bottom up. And in that sense, it's a task for every individual to take among for themselves and to create the role models that we want moving into the future. If we want the future to be better, we have to be the future that we wish to see. And when I say that, it's like, when I've been talking about the roots, it's like everything I say, I want to plant a seed. I want to plant a seed in your brain that's positive and create something that you can grow, something that you can nurture, an idea, a concept, something that you can pass on to your family, to your friends, to your children, and then you can take and you can make something beautiful of. I want people to be able to communicate, and if people feel like they're hurt or they're afraid or they don't know where to go or they don't know what they need, I want people to feel safe. I want everyone to be a role model. I want everyone to be an elder. I want everyone to be an ancestor. I want everyone to be able to understand the context in which they live and to empathize and to give thanks and to show appreciation and to give just as much as you take. Just understand what waste is, and that you can waste material things, you can waste your own life, you can waste time, but realize that that has impact, and that every step that you take creates impact, and that every breath that you take is oxygen that is shared with the rest of the world, and every drip of water that goes through your body, that is mostly water, has been shared with all of humanity and all of the earth and all of existence. And to know that in very, very primal senses and very basic ways that everything that you do is significant, and not to act like it's not and just to play it off like it's fine, it doesn't mean anything, because although it might not mean something to you right now, everything means something. And to pretend like it doesn't is the kind of the curse of our generation, the curse of the first worlds, the curse of capitalism that we live in.